feet always clean and tidy. Auntie loves me more than him, I'm sure. I'm calm and always sensible. I'm such a very clever cat.
I know I'm slow and sometimes show a nerve or two. But Auntie loves me as much as her, I think. I'm loyal and very lovable. I'm what they call a family dog. My name is Teetime.
My name is Claudia.
We like each other
In our way.
Sometimes, when there's nothing to do, Claudia and I play Do You Remember games. They're fun, except when Claudia cheats.
I don't. I just catch Teetime out. He always says yes when I ask him if he remembers something, which never happened.
I like Do You Remembers, which remind us of things which did happen. Here's one. Do you remember when it's cold outside and Auntie piles up the coal and lights it up and I hear the noise in the chimney?
Yes, 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 and yes. Except it's warm outside, so there's no fire the day we hear the noise.
I hear it first anyway, because I'm lying by the fire, which isn't there. Hoping for a nice windy breeze to come down the chimney.
Only it doesn't, because for once Auntie remembers to close the breeze door up the chimney.
Breeze door? That's a funny word.
It's not. It's 2 words.
Oh, well, I don't mind. There's this strange noise up the chimney. It goes...
Of course, Stupid jumps up and down and barks like mad.
It gets her Auntie out of her chair. She starts to swipe me with her knitting. When I do this trick I know, I stand still and I lean forward and point my nose where I want Auntie to look. It always works.
She's heard the noise anyhow.
So she pulls open the breeze door thing and poof! Oh,
What's that thing with flapping wings?
Oh, I don't know. I can't see, can I?
Is it a blackbird? Well, Auntie gets a cloth and wipes it down.
And me too.
And it's not a blackbird. It's a wood pigeon. Guess who?
Concorde. Hello, Concorde. Why don't you come through the window if you want to see what indoors looks like?
Because I like perching on chimney tops, Concorde splatters, looking around for faraway food from my little ones. Only this other bird lands and knocks into me and oh, here I am. Oh, I'm hurt.
Auntie's holding his wing, which is what makes him go, oh! What can we do, Auntie? Auntie knows. She finds a big white cloth and a little wooden stick and ties them round Concorde's wing. What's that for?
It's a splint.
But he won't be able to fly anymore.
Oh, that's what it's for. He's got to rest his wing till it's mended. Auntie pushes him into an old cage and puts him next to Hush the parrot for company.
Well, depends on what you mean by company. Hush squawks to him all day. And all night too, I expect.
I'm only being a good neighbour, is Hush's answer. Birds of a feather.
Usually, Concorde likes a good chatter and natter. But he's got worries on his mind. Like he's got splints on his wing. Mrs. Concorde won't know where I am, he sighs. She'll be worrying herself silly. She'll think I've been shot by a farmer's gun, or I've left her for another nest.
Oh, you mustn't flap, Concorde.
Well, he can't, can he? Flap his wings are.
Very funny. Now, shh. I'm thinking. We must find a way of telling Mrs. Concorde.
If you can't go there, Mrs. C might come here. I've told her all about Auntie's bird table, but tell her nicely. She's bad with her nerves, you know.
Oh, that means I can't tell her. She'd be frightened of cats. And she'd be frightened of Teetime because he's so big.
Thank you.
Anytime. So, hush. You're a bird of a feather. You come out of your cage when Auntie's not around and wait for Mrs. C at the bird table.
Hush like this idea. I can see what food Auntie gives the outside birds. She squawks.
And she's got out of her cage and out of the window before you can say Auntie's in the kitchen. She waits and waits and eats and eats.
And we wait and wait by the window. But we don't eat, as it's not yet time for our tea. At last, we see Mrs. C flap down to the bird table. Oh, dear.
Oh, you silly parrot. She's enjoying the bird seed so much, she snaps out when this new bird lands beside her. And Mrs. C flies off, very upset.
Not so upset as Concorde.
Don't flap. We'll ask Gon the tortoise.
Good, he goes. An adventure. I like them. Adventures. I haven't had one for ages. So, another day, Gon's waiting by the bird table, and we're all waiting again by the window.
Here comes Mrs. C. Oh, look where she's landed. She thinks he's a stone.
Well, I do sometimes.
Shh. Watch. Come out of your shell, Gon. They're talking.
And laughing. Mrs. C flies off. It must be all right.
That's not all right. Sorry, says Gon. The pigeon lady and I had such a nice chat. I forgot to tell her until she'd flown away. Sorry. I enjoyed the adventure, though. Sorry.
Now, this is the part of the story I like best. Claudia hasn't done any good. So I'm going to tell Mrs. C myself. When I can get into the garden on my own.
Where's Teetime? He's missing the big day. Auntie's taking the splint off Concorde's wing.
It's easy. Mrs. C lands. I say hello and tell her the news. But Mrs. C doesn't know where the words come from, because I'm sitting very still, and she thinks I'm a stone dog.
Concorde can fly again. At least as far as you can fly indoors. Don't knock into things.
Right. Mrs. C's hopped over to the window to see for herself. She's flapping her wings and cooing away.
It's Mrs. C. But what's she screaming about? Oh, no, Concorde cries. She doesn't believe me now I haven't got my splint on. She thinks I've been having a holiday. Auntie's opening the window. I'm not going out that way. Well, there's only one other way I can think of.
What's that? Wriggling out of the chimney top. Concorde! Mrs. C's seen him too. Off they go! Hooray! They'll have a good old chat when they get home, I expect.
A bad old fight, you mean? If you'd stayed indoors, you'd have known Concorde was ready to go home anyway.
I'm not going to let Claudia see me feeling stupid again.
Poor Teetime. He must feel stupid.
But not when Auntie comes back to tell me what a good dog I am.
But Auntie gets the chimney top covered over so birds don't fall through anymore.
Yes. But whenever I look at the fireplace, I think of the day Concorde dropped in. Do you remember Claudia? Who told Mrs. C?